I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another player review, and I am late to it, but got myself a 94 Summer Heat David Luiz, so I thought, why not give him a quick review? Obviously fitted into the same team as Paul Pogba did, and there is another player in the team as well that I thought I'd take a look at. But David Luiz is one of those cards that came out. He was super expensive, and he still is because he's there forever. And this card is going to cost you around 590,000 if you're on console, more according to Footbin if you're on PC. We're looking at about 650,000. Why does he have a catalyst on him? To be honest, catalysts aren't as expensive as shadows. His defensive stats were good enough for me. We wanted to boost the pace. What better way than to give him a catalyst? And I had loads in the club, and why not? Because it boosts the passing as well. Now, in hindsight, was that a good thing to do? I mean, if you want to give him a shadow, you get 99 for basically all of the defensive stats apart from the heading. That goes to 97. You also get 99 acceleration and sprint speed, so that definitely is the best one. But I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to use him like often. You know, Ramos team of the season, Varane team of the season, Eder Militao's flashback card, they're all in the club. Is David Luiz, his Summer Heat card, better than any one of those? And if so, maybe I'll consider putting a shadow on him and using him full time. Now, that being said, we have to go over some of the stats. So 3-star, 3-star. And bear in mind, of course, I will touch upon it. You can play him as a CDM. He has been known to play there in real life. Not so much these days. I mean, he barely plays centre-back these days, let's be honest. He just plays wherever I want, and if I can't be bothered, I won't bother. But I don't think the CDM is that much of an option because of how bad his balance is and how he doesn't really have great vision or dribbling. So just bear that in mind. You can get a 91 shapeshifter CDM David Luiz, and that is of course an option that you may want to take up. And you know, he's not that expensive anymore, I don't think. Let me have a look to see how expensive he is. So he's going for under 100k, which, you know, for a 91 version compared to the 94, considering the 94 is nearly 600,000, that's actually not that bad at all. We have medium work rates, not ideal for a centre-back. High and average body type, 6'2". The height is, I mean, decent. Obviously, it would be better. Well, would it be better if he was shorter? I don't think it would. I think 6'2" is okay for a centre-back. You've got 84 acceleration, 91 sprint speed. I think that's decent. I wouldn't really argue that it's bad or great because you want to try and close that gap between the acceleration and the sprint speed. If we could get that up into the 90s and then the sprint speed being 91, then we'd be happy. But for a centre-back, pretty good. Shot power 99, long shots 89. If you're in front of goal, I mean, yeah, okay, why not? But as a centre-back, are you really going to be that far forward? Decent defensive stats with the chem style on top. Like I said, if you really want to boost those, you're going to get 99s for everything pretty much. That's the team I've got him in. It's I mean, on paper, it's a very good team, right? The new Dan James at right wing, the last season's Gabriel Jesus, Hullet in there, of course, Aouar, one of my favourite cards this year, if not maybe my favourite card. Van der Sar in goal, who's a little bit overpowered. And, of course, Zambrotta at right back, who is very good, very underrated right back. And one of the best, if not the best card in the game, Frank Ribery. So, a solid team for David Luiz to be playing in, which makes a change. I say that, Arsenal have just beaten Liverpool and Manchester City. You have to put some respect on David Luiz's name, because he played in both of those, didn't he? Anyway, question is David Luiz as, not accident prone, but just is he so much of a calamity as he is in real life as in FIFA? No, he's not. He's actually okay, fair enough, never mind. Yes, he is. He commits the odd foul here or there. His timing for certain stand tackles can be a little bit off. I mean, you can blame me all you want. I'll take responsibility for maybe 50%, but he does like to stick a leg out and smile about it as well when the camera zooms in. But in general, to be fair, I had a bit of a shock because I thought he'd be decent. I just didn't expect him to be as good as he was. I really enjoyed it. I think he's a good card. I wouldn't really be concerned too much about anything other than positioning, and that is so ironic because obviously that's what's wrong with him in real life. He makes really stupid decisions sometimes in real life, and his positioning isn't exactly, spot on. In FIFA, it's not decision making because he doesn't like tug people's shirts and commit fouls and stuff, because obviously that's mostly my fault if I'm tugging on a player's shirt, etc., and giving away fouls willy-nilly. But his positioning can be a little bit off. Defensive awareness is 90, which is quite high. Of course, I do have a catalyst on him, so obviously we're not focused too much on the defensive side of his game. Were I to give him a Sentinel Guardian powerhouse, maybe we would have seen a distinct improvement. Even a backbone, for example, we would have boosted up the passing, the defending, and indeed the strength and jumping, making him a 98 rated centre-back. Definitely, in my opinion, the way to go rather than Catalyst. I just wanted to give him something that was going to boost the pace, and I did that as soon as I picked him up. I also did it because playing him as a CDM felt like maybe it would be a decent option. It works. He's got sort of slim Axel Witsel vibes about him, really, in game. Kind of feels like that. Obviously, with the hair as well, it does help that sort of feeling. But I don't know. I would rather use a dedicated CDM to be playing there rather than a makeshift David Luiz. If you want a CDM David Luiz, you feel free and go buy the Shapeshifter. But for me personally, I would rather use him as a centre-back. He did a relatively good job. It's not like we kept clean sheets constantly. We did concede goals. You would have seen, like here, for example, we've conceded a goal. But we're playing against some decent players. We've gone up to a relatively high division now on this account just through doing reviews over the last few days and winning and racking up the wins. We've managed to get promoted quite a few times. So playing against some really good competitive people. And overall, he did very well. The elephant in the room, I think, is going to be the price. That's where the problem lies. And that is where a lot of people have decided that he's not worth it. And it's not because he's not good in game, not because he doesn't look good on paper, but because he's so expensive, you could go and buy 2 or 3, use 2 and use 1 as a backup, world-class team of the season defenders, and still have money left over to open a 45k pack. So I can more than understand why people have not completed it, and it does go to really explain why on Footbin he has 1,111 upvotes, but he has nearly 3,500 downvotes. It's not because he's a bad player, it's because he's too expensive. And that, in my opinion, is the problem, the sticking point and the issue. Now, it is true, you get what you pay for. You pay nearly 600k for this card, and you are getting a very good defender with only minimal issue, and that is the positioning. If you were to give him the chem style to boost the defensive awareness, it may increase his positioning slightly and make things a little bit better for you, so bear that in mind. But overall, is it really worth spending 600k on a player that, yeah, okay, he's good, very good, he's up there, he's definitely in sort of the top few percent of players, and that's for sure. But I don't know, I just think you can get better cards, not better cards necessarily, but you can get players that are just as good for a fraction of the price of David Luiz. Now, there are going to be grinders out there, myself included, because obviously that's how I got him. I didn't do it for a review. I got it because I had high-rated cards, and why not, right? He does fit into one of my teams, so I thought, well, maybe if he is good enough, we could play him. But I just think that for the grinders out there, and you've got nothing else to put your cards into, yeah, sure. Why not? Because if you are grinding and you like doing the upgrades, the bronze to silver to the 82 to 88s, the 81 pluses, and maybe you're opening, like you're doing a 5k pack method or even a 7.5k pack method, that works really well and has done for me for the last couple of days on the Road to Glory in particular. You can basically get your way to this card just by doing that. And in that case, then fine. But if you're the type of person who is thinking of going out and just doing this with coins, or having to, basically buy the cards and just try and do it over time and buying the odd card here or there, I would argue against it. I don't think he's got that, I don't know, not endgame factor, because he is endgame, but just go spend your coins on other defenders. You can get 2 or 3 for the price of this one, and that is mad. Absolutely crazy. Team of the season Manolas, you heard it from me. One of the best defenders in the game. He's so good. Granted, can't fit him into a Premier League team, but he's still very good. If you've used David Luiz, let me know what you think of him. Very good player, just unbelievably overpriced, if you want my honest opinion. If you have used him, let me know what you think of him in the comments. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.